Hi, it's Chen. One of the best things in the world next to noodles, pizza, hot pot, well, food in general, is sleep. I mean, what's not to love about it? You're fully relaxed, not a care in the world, snuggled under your blanket, maybe it's raining outside, making it all cozy. But to many of us, sleep can be elusive. Our daily grind in the jobs we work sometimes make it impossible to get a decent amount of sleep and to recover from an entire day. But as important as eating, sleep is an essential part of having to take care of ourselves and our health. Not only does sleep recharge us for the next day, but it also does awesome things to us even though we aren't fully aware of it. And so in this video, we're gonna count down 9 amazing things that happen when you are asleep. Number 9, your brain cleans house. Imagine your brain as a box where you put in things the moment you start your day, and by the end of it, you clear it out, leaving only the things that you really need. Our brain is a hardworking organ, and it does not stop even when we are asleep. In fact, there are some studies that claim that the brain kicks into high gear even more when we doze off, constantly sending signals to other organs and our muscles to make sure that everything is running smoothly. But one of the most wonderful things that the brain does when we sleep is its ability to clean itself out. The brain basically, well, it takes out the trash and filters out unnecessary information that we have accumulated throughout an entire day. Whether it's how you felt when your day began badly, or how it flushes out toxic byproducts that can cause diseases like Alzheimer's. Your brain has a way of automatically clearing out its spaces in order to cement and consolidate new memories. Number 8, your heart rate and breathing slows down. When you sleep, all your bodily functions essentially slow down. All your normal physiological processes wind down at bedtime because you would not need any excess energy during the time when you are recharging your body. Processes like metabolism and breathing slows down. The heart beats slower than usual because it requires a lot less energy when you're asleep. Also, the body slows down its production of adrenaline because the body won't necessarily need this chemical since you won't be needing to trigger a physical response such as fight or flight. Number 7, your body temperature drops. Although there is no clear scientific explanation as to why the body loses its capacity for thermal regulation, it automatically cools down a little below core temperature when you sleep. It is no news, however, that experts agree that one of the perfect conditions to sleep better, aside from a comfortable bed, is to keep the room a little bit cooler than normal. This is to mimic what the body is already doing. Basically, during the REM stage of sleep, your body cools down its temperature 1 or 2 degrees. Again, we don't know why exactly this happens, but according to some researchers, they think that because no energy is being spent or burned during sleep, so the body does not produce that much heat. Number 6, makes creative connections. Have you ever experienced that eureka moment when you wake up because a great idea has just hit you even before your morning coffee? That's because sleep is a powerful creative booster that can make surprising connections on different subjects while you are rested. This is perhaps where the phrase sleep on it came from. Of course, most if not all of us have had to make or think about major decisions at one point in our lives. In one way or another, we have been given the advice to sleep on it. A 2007 study at the University of California, Berkeley discovered that sleep can foster unusual connections in the brain, which could lead to better decision making or inspiration the moment we wake up rather than mulling it over when we are up and about. The study has also shown that people are 33% more likely to make connections between seemingly unlikely subjects and distantly related ideas when they wake up. Number 4, learning and remembering how to perform physical tasks. The brain has a way of storing information into long-term memory through short bursts of brain waves that occur during REM. The process is most helpful, especially when it comes to storing information on motor tasks and skills like driving, riding a bike, or in the case of infants, walking. Remember the part where we talked about the brain clearing up spaces for new memories and information earlier in the list? Part of that process also involves the storing of information such as this. What basically happens is that during the REM stage of sleep, the brain transfers all short-term memories from the motor cortex of the temporal lobe, thereby becoming long-term memories that can be accessed anytime. A sleep scientist at Cornell University put it plainly: if you want to improve your golf game, sleep longer. Number 3, making decisions. Similar to making creative connections, the brain can process information and actually prepare for actions during sleep. While the brain can make quick decisions during the waking hours, a recent study found out that the brain can process complex stimuli and information during sleep. It is this information that is later on used to make decisions while we are wide awake. The study goes even further, testing this hypothesis. Researchers asked a group of people to identify spoken words and break them into different categories by pressing a set of buttons. The moment the task became automatic, automatic responses, they were asked to continue the test but are allowed to fall asleep anytime during the course of the test. When the participants were asleep, researchers introduced a new set of words for them to categorize in their sleep. As their brains were being monitored, researchers noticed that their brains continued to function and give responses based on the words and categories that were presented. When the participants woke up, unfortunately, they had no memory of the words that were given to them in their sleep. However, researchers Thomas Angelin and Sid Quitter reports to the Washington Post that not only did they process complex information while being asleep, but they did it unconsciously. Our work sheds new light about the brain's ability to process information while asleep, but also while being unconscious. Number 2, growth hormones are released. A lot of things can happen to our body while fast asleep. Aside from the brain clearing up the clutter in our heads, about 100 different chemical reactions also happen. One of them is the release of the growth hormone HGH. This hormone greatly contributes to the regeneration of bones, tissues, and muscles. It also is one of the contributors in healing wounds and cell renewal. HGH may not be as active as a growth hormone in adults, but it is quite important in children and infants as this hormone promotes physical growth and many other factors that affect the body's development in children. If you ever wonder why babies tend to sleep a lot, well, it's all for their own literal growth. Muscle paralysis. This should not be of any concern or alarm. A temporary muscle paralysis happens normally when we fall asleep and enter into the REM cycle. During this stage, the muscles of the body become completely paralyzed, making it impossible to move. This should not be confused with the more severe disorder of sleep paralysis. The experience of the temporary muscle paralysis shuts down the body's motor functions so that it would not respond to any stimuli that might have us end up running both in our dreams and in our beds. And finally, number 1, moving your eyes. As you doze off, you experience 5 phases before falling into that deep, restful sleep. The final and the most active phase is REM, or rapid eye movement. In this phase, the eyes dart rapidly back and forth, and we typically have no memory of this happening when we wake up. The REM cycle kicks in 70 to 90 minutes after you fall asleep, and you will spend around 20% of your sleep in this stage, during which chemical reactions and the brain recalibrating its signals to different parts of the body occur. Also known as deep sleep, REM is an important part of the sleep cycle that contributes greatly to being fully rested after waking up. Speaking of REM and dreams, you know what I thought a long time ago, like a decade ago, would be the coolest invention ever? Because I don't know about you guys, but I rarely remember my dreams. I know I dream and I get fragments of memory, but I don't remember them completely. Wouldn't it be cool every morning to be able to download your dreams or hook yourself to a machine where at night when you're dreaming, it's recorded onto a DVD player or something, and then the next day you can click on that file and sit back with some popcorn and just watch your dreams like a movie, and everything will be in like perfectly clear 4K quality? Let me know if you agree. Wouldn't that be the coolest invention ever? All right, guys, all this talk of sleep has made me sleepy, so I'm gonna go take a nap. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you later.